Our third principle of success or thinking and grow rich is the persistence. The persistence. The persistence, that's the ability for us to continue doing the right things even if we don't like it, even if we don't see results, without looking on the objections, disappointments, okay, or the ability to believe on, to honor the humble beginning, or to be grateful for what we are seeing without even seeing any results. Or what I can say in short, persistence makes you to honor and to accept delayed gratification. You know, most people, they want to be applauded every time they do anything. People have to clap hands for them and say, oh, well done, you've done it so well. But most of the time it won't. Life and long-term success does not appear like that. Success is a process. Success is not a sprint. It's not just something you work quick and make it. Success is a marathon. If you decide and you choose to become successful in your mind, make sure you twist your mind and say that ije jua, ije mvua. That is Swahili. But in English we say, come rain, come sunshine, I am going to make this happen. So it's a decision. It's something that you need to make sure that in your mind you have that power to sustain. And it's an effort that you have to build inside yourself. So don't look at people who are successful and start mentioning and putting names and raising fingers and say, oh, these are Freemason, these are people who are not doing this. You just mention anything that you want. Look at what they've gone through. Try to look on the history. Don't look on the glory of somebody, okay? Because most of the time, when you want to become successful, we must make sure that we create and cultivate persistence. Persistence is the relentless, that force that will make you moving on towards your success without looking at anything. So, as you're building up your business, I want you to reflect and to start thinking, review yourself. What are the things that are hindering you not to continue? Why did yesterday you had a plan and you didn't execute just because somebody called you and said, I'm not going to join you, or I'm not going to buy. Somebody spoke something and you twist all of your decisions. You forgot all of your imaginations and you start thinking of that somebody instead of thinking of your goal and your desire. So for things to happen in our lives, we need to cultivate. And by the way, the Bible says that God can give us the power, okay, to become rich. So for us to be rich or wealthy, I call wealthy because rich is not much. Wealthy is the best, okay? So wealthy, that ability to have in abundance, everything in abundance, but also supply to other people and impact more people, not only for your family only. That's wealth. So for us to be wealthy, okay, we need to make sure that we cultivate that power. We are small gods. God has given us already that power. So it's for us now to cultivate reading the right books. So some of the failures or things which made people not to have persistence, okay, I'll try to speak some of them, and then I want you to start reflecting on your life. Are you part of it, or are they part of your lifestyle? For example, some people, they don't have this the persistence because they are lacking maybe just a failure to recognize, okay, and to clearly define exactly what they want. They've not put clearly the desires. We spoke about the desires. Have you written down your desires? And they said, she just said write down, but I don't have to write. I have it in my mind, you know. I'll just go on and move on. It will not happen. We were told to write down. We need to write down. So already, if you skip that one, how can you be having the persistence? Because your subconscious mind will not be programmed for you to continue if you have not written down and you know exactly what you want. Another thing is the procrastination. That ability of saying, I'll do it tomorrow. You're called today to do something, to go and attend a seminar. I'll attend another one. You always postpone things. Procrastination is the killer of success. So there was a time I was having challenges with procrastination. I could even, push appointments forward. And then when I push it forward, the person will cancel the appointment, So that's procrastination. You are detached to your destiny journey, because the journey and the way the universe puts us, the universe gives us chance at that particular moment. If you don't take it, the universe will twist to somebody else, because it's not only you who is imagining that thing. By the way, thoughts, they float in the air in the universe because they are frequencies. So any thought that you have, it will also be in the frequency. So anybody can catch it. And that's why sometimes you go around and you look at something, you say, I also thought of doing this thing last year, but I don't know why I have not done it. Procrastination. Once you have the imagination, you have the idea already, you need to start making a step and a plan. And you break it down to daily plans, weekly plans, okay? Prioritizing yourself and your activities until you see success. So some people, they lack interest, okay, in regarding learning about the specialized knowledge. By the way, if you want to be successful, as much as you're imagining and everything, but you also need to learn. Because when you are reading, when you're taking that course, there's a lot of short courses online, free. Some of them you pay. Yes, you have to invest. Why do you pay for your clothes and you wear it for you to look good outside? By the way, you cannot look good outside if your mind has got nothing to pour it out to other people. Because they will say, they'll give you a chance to speak, and once you speak, if it does not impact anybody else, is as much as you have not even done anything on your outside. So the most important thing is the factory of the mind. So we need to make sure that we get the right knowledge. Go attend that seminar every day until you have captured that thing and you have understood, you have imagined, and you have been able to accomplish it. So we say, my mentor Jim Rohn once said, learn, practice, and teach. Learn, practice, and teach. So we need to keep on learning every time, okay? And we need to keep on practicing every time, and we need to teach so that it can remain within ourselves, but also can impact other people. So the lack of indecision, okay, is also a challenge. These are the signs of somebody who does not have persistence, okay? The ability to rely upon algorithms instead of creating definite plans. Okay, you wake up in the morning and say, I'll know it in the morning, no worries. So you sleep without knowing tomorrow what are you going to do tomorrow. You don't have clear plans. Forget. You'll be carried over by the wind. The wind are these people who call you in between and you follow their plans. Because then they've already created their plans. That maybe I'm going to call 10 people to build or to meet for me to engage in my business. So you fall into their plan. So your desires become wishes. So it's important for you to make sure that you put down the definite plans. Self-satisfaction, okay, there's little remedy for this. This affliction, and no hope for those who suffer from it. Okay, the habit of blaming others. Now, this is huge. Oh my goodness. Most of the time, us people, we normally blame others all the time, but we forget that when we do like this, that one did, that one didn't. There's how many fingers that are following us or pointing us more than the one that we are pointing to that person. So anything that is not happening in your life, don't show a hand. Don't blame your husband. Don't blame your kids. Don't blame your teacher. Don't blame your parents. Blame yourself. You are the victim. Number one. Sit down. Reflect. Why this has happened? What am I learning out of this? Don't just speak negative of others, okay? Because it means you have the negative. Why you don't see the positive of those people, okay? So we need to create that habit of ensuring that the weakness of desires, okay, that we normally, maybe we no longer desire because we feel like we are failures. That's the weakness of desire, and that can lead us not to have the persistence, okay? The ability to neglect to move on ideas or to grasp opportunities when it presents itself to us, You know, because most of the time we get a lot of opportunities. By the way, the world is full of opportunities. So with this world where there's full of opportunities, now when the opportunities are presented to us, are we open-minded? Can we learn? Okay, there was one man who once said, once you're presented an opportunity, if you don't understand it, but it sounds good and it sounds achievable, just do it and learn through it as you're achieving it. Don't wait for you to learn all through the way. Some of the opportunity you need to practice so as to achieve. So ensure that you cultivate that, to ensure that you also have the persistence. Okay, that ability of having, you know, there's a time when the fear of criticism can be so huge until you feel like maybe you're doing something wrong. They can even call you names, okay? They can even call you a thief because maybe you spent some money to do some project which has not matured yet. Do not worry. Do you know the story of FedEx? There was a time he borrowed money from his relatives, okay? FedEx, you know, the one who, logistic company that's, support us to send goods across the world. So he bought then he took the money and he bought a plane, okay, to take the goods from one country to another. But unfortunately, the business did not break even, so he made a loss. So the time for him to return the money due, and he couldn't. So everyone was furious. By the way, when you're doing something great and big, not everyone will be happy. Even your own relatives, they might not be happy, okay? So everybody was furious that maybe he's eating our money, but they've seen that there are planes which are flying. They will see that you are doing actions, but they will feel like you're nothing. Some, even your husbands, your wives can say, you're wasting your time. I've always been seeing you like this. But remember your desire. Remember your imagination. Persist. Keep on doing because you're doing great. It's through the little efforts that it will take you to the next level. So what happened? FedEx one day, everybody gathered and said, no, we're going to catch him and jail him, put him to jail. But somebody was good among the rest. He called him and said, by the way, if you come today to this country, they will catch you. So the same time he landed the plane, he took the plane off and he went out. He continued with business that side until he became successful and he paid the money off to everyone. Today, he is the biggest company of logistics for goods. You can imagine. So what if he quitted? What if because of criticism? Okay? If they're telling you bad names and you are not, why do you feel bad? And you don't have that intention. Always feel good because you are just like a Joseph. Even his own relative couldn't accept him. But later on, he became a prime minister. But before becoming prime minister, he was put in a pit. He was jailed, okay? But God knows that he is going to be the prime minister. So as we're building up our businesses and as we're building up our vision and desires, always let's have the persistence. Cultivate that ability. Let me share with you quickly on how you can cultivate that ability and develop the persistence within yourself and ensuring that you continue until you see success. As much as you're building your persistence, you need to have clear plans. Don't forget that. Because with clear plans, it will help you not to worry as you're moving towards cultivating it. So, number one, have a definite purpose backed by burning desire for its fulfillment. Okay? So, since you know where you're heading, continue to imagine and continue to have that desire. Second is to have a definite plan, as I've shared before. Expressed in continuous action, like daily actions, weekly, monthly, and so forth. That is very important. Do not start a day without understanding what you are going to do that day. Otherwise, it's a waste day. Okay, you're wasting time and you're wasting your possibilities of you achieving your goal. Okay. Number three, a mind closed tightly against all negative and discouraging influences, including negative suggestions of relatives, friends, and acquaintances. You know, it's not easy, my dear. I'm telling you, us whom we have started business and we are still in business, we have experienced all colors of people. Some they even come back and apologize and join us. Some they don't even join and say, she's lucky, he's lucky. It's not that you're lucky, it's because you understood your purpose. You understood and you created a plan and you said, I'm going to execute this plan until I see success. I've been in network marketing company for quite some time. This is my 20th year and it has been so successful. But at the beginning, it was not easy. Out of all the network that I wanted to share to my people, out of 250 people I knew, only 2 understood. The rest were laughing at me. If it was you, 200 people you've spoken the idea to. By the way, not everybody will buy your idea, and you should not speak to anybody. You should try to see who are the right people and who can, try to uplift the idea that you have. Now, the fourth thing that you need to do for cultivating your persistence and relentless is a friendly alliance with one or more person who will encourage one to follow through with both plan and purpose. Have your way of having the right companion, or we call the right affiliate, people whom you trust and they've understood what you're doing, so you can share and they can always share with you. And it could be a physical person, it could be a book, it could be a mentor, could be even a TV series, okay, that can mentor you, Could be people who are inspirational speaker, could be a spiritual person. So try to look, who are the people uplifting your energy? Who are the people when you listen, they take you and push you towards your desire and imaginations so that you can achieve everything. So these 4 steps, if you take it one by one, I'm telling you, you'll persist and you'll be successful. Okay? So according to Napoleon Hill, okay, he says, these are the steps by which one may control one's economic destiny. We are talking about economy. We are talking about financial freedom. Here we're not talking about petty cash to eat. That's why it is tough. Not everybody will understand what we are talking about. And that's why it needs somebody to make decision. Sometimes you cry, my friend. It is okay. You cry by yourself. You wipe your tears, wash your head, wash your ears, and you wake up again, you continue. You don't show anyone your cry, you cry to yourself because it has not come to pass, but you keep on doing. I've been mentoring more than 200 youth and they're all successful. Now I have a team of I've touched more than 50,000 youth and women. I'm telling you, across various countries, I've seen success of people whom even I was thinking otherwise. When they came to me, some, they were not even understanding anything. But because they had a good learning attitude, they are coachable, they're ready, they've got burning desire. Some, they used to cry in front of me and I could feel bad, but I don't cry. I just tell them boldly, you're still a student. One day you stand up and walk and run. It's okay now you're crawling, but you're moving, you're taking a step. It's a time of foundation that where you're learning, but it's okay. It's okay if you don't fly like the others, because sometimes we look at sideways and having like a competitive mindset. You compete with the other people instead of competing with your own strength. Compete with yourself. Don't compare yourself with anyone, because at the end you're fulfilling your own desire. So I used to tell them that, no, you're doing great. And one day you will testify and I can't wait to see you at the top. Some agreed, some they quit. Those who agreed, I'm telling you today, I have testimony of these people. And I'm so happy. And this is my satisfaction. It has given me another bar, given me another life, because I could feel like, okay, if you can impact somebody's life and change somebody's life, it's very good. So even to you, people are watching you. Your children are watching you. Your friends are watching you. If you worry, you stop, you backslide, and you go back to your original position, you will not be attractive. Nobody will follow. You will not be a role model. But if you persist, people see you, okay? And when they're seeing you, as long as they're teasing you, mocking you, it's okay. But one day they will applaud you and say, great leader, you have achieved and you deserve to be honored a crown because you have passed the test. So, persistence needs us not to fear, not to be discouraged, not to see the indifferences. That is persistence. Okay, Napoleon Hill says that these are the 4 steps which guarantee favorable breaks, which gives you the power, the fame, and the worldly recognition. I'm telling you, if you can persist, if you can move on, don't look back. You know, even in the Bible, there was a story of a woman who was told that we are moving forward, you're not looking back. If you look back, you'll become a salt. She thought it's a joke. Even now you're looking at me, you think I'm joking. I'm not joking. I'm speaking you the truth. That is the road to success. You need to make your mind, to tell your mind to pick these things and start using them. That keep on moving what you're doing, but keep on just learning to make sure that you get the right things so that you can achieve greatness. So it will give you a guarantee for success once you persist. I've never seen somebody persisting with no success. I've just seen people look at them as they've been delayed, but no, they were in the road to success. So it's a journey, okay? Knowledge is the potential power, but it will be power when you put it into use. It's very important to see how you can organize your power and how you can cultivate and gain more power. How do you also gain more power apart from spiritually praying and engaging yourself with the spiritual, any relationships, engagements? The other things that are important is the ability to learn, okay? The infinite intelligence of someone, okay? Each one has got his own intelligence that we all have, and we need to source the right knowledge to make sure that we keep on having the personal development within ourselves to continue to cultivate the power. But also we need to learn from the experience of other people. You know, when you're reading a book, for instance, a book is an experience of somebody's years of experience, you know. Somebody, until they write a book, that's why we buy books, we invest in books. And I urge you to every month to read at least one book and invest in a book, because you gain the experience of somebody's 60 years in one day or in 1 week, just after reading the book. So that's another source of power where you can organize it and enable you to stimulate the inner power for you to execute things. But also, you can do research, you can continue with the building up your own experiments to see how you can coordinate yourself with the desire that you want to accomplish. But we also saw that with all the things that we do, we need to connect our powers and the powers of other people. That's why we say mastermind, okay? So I'll wind up the mastermind by saying that ask yourself these 5 questions. These are the questions that once you answer them, it will help you to expand your mind, but also help you to gain more powers. The number 1 question is, as the best plans are useless until power is used to translate them into action, how can you take action for your goals? The second question, how can you tap into your own power and take these actions? The third question, knowing what results when 2 or more people combine their knowledge, who can you collaborate with? How many people do you want to collaborate with to create that mastermind? Okay. Number 4, understanding the relationship between positive emotion and the accumulation of money. What negative emotions are holding you from wealth and success? And the last question is, how can you create more positive emotions in order to succeed? My dear one, it's very important to ensure that we protect our mind by creating positive energy all the time. So every time, let's all together, every day, every evening, try to evaluate, review your day, and try to see where did you gain your positive energy and where did you lose it. Because life is all about energy. The more energy you preserve and use it for your execution of your plans is the more results you're going to gain. Because most of the distractions are there to trigger your energy. They can temper you just for you to speak so much, to blame so much, so that you remove all your energy into the blame, into the thing that you think it's not right. But rather, if you keep quiet and preserve that energy, we can always be positive and move far for our achievements. So thank you very much for listening up to the 4th principle, and stay tuned for the 5th and the most important principle, number 5.